Free Beacon is an incredible site, freebeacon.com. If you don't go to it, bookmark it. And Lachlan Markay has been, exceptional at digging through the layers and layers of bureaucracy and numbers on a whole myriad of subjects. You know the name Tom Steyer because of Lachlan Markay, and his latest just came out this morning, and literally less than 20 minutes ago, that Hillary Clinton signed an NDA, a non-disclosure, laying out criminal penalties for mishandling of classified info. Lachlan joins us right now on Twitter at Lachlan, Lachlan. And the minute I saw this, I reached out. We've known each other for a while now. Give me the breakdown here, because Hillary always says she didn't know that she was dealing with classified information. What's the big deal?
Well, there are a few parts of this agreement that are crucial, and one of them you kind of just touched on, and that is it makes clear that officials who sign this agreement, and everyone who has the security clearance to handle classified information has to sign one, they are responsible for reaching out to department personnel to ensure that they are aware of the classification status of the information they handle. In other words, I didn't know it wasn't classified is not a legitimate excuse, because the onus is on you to make sure that you know what the level of classification is for all the information that you're privy to.
Which is exactly like, for example, when you drive a car and you have a broken taillight, you're not allowed to say, oh, I didn't know my taillight was broken. You're driving the car. You need to know everything that's going on with your car. You're responsible for it.
Right. Ignorance of the law is not a defense in this case. And that's one crucial portion of this agreement. And we knew that she had signed an agreement along these lines. Like I said, everyone who handles classified information has to. But this is sort of the first time that we've gotten a look at the specific text that Hillary Clinton signed on to, as well as her two top aides, Huma Abedin and Cheryl Mills.
Part of what the NDA says, as your article explains well at freebeacon.com, that she signed that, I'm quoting here, I have been advised that the unauthorized disclosure, unauthorized retention, or negligent handling by me could cause irreparable injury to the United States or be used to advantage by a foreign nation. I mean, talk about spelling it out, everything that we've been talking about now for months.
Yeah, I think the negligent handling phrase there is really crucial, because it makes clear that even if you don't intentionally share classified information, if you handle it in a way that does not adequately secure that information from breaches or leaks or things like that, you're still going to be held liable for it. And they spell out pretty clearly the severe consequences that can have for U.S. national security. So this kind of goes to the heart of, the criticism that she's been receiving for her personal email server, which, was not authorized to handle this level of classification.
So there are three places where this could be an issue to Hillary Clinton, Lachlan. We're talking to Lachlan Markay of Washington Free Beacon, freebeacon.com, at Lachlan on Twitter, Lachlan. You have the FBI investigation, which I don't think I'm wrong in saying that's a criminal investigation. You have got the Benghazi committee, which is to say, did Congressman Gowdy know about this? Was he saving this NDA? Was he going to be utilizing this in any of the conversations regarding emails found, or does it not apply to what you're seeing from the Benghazi committee? And then there's the court of public opinion, because she is running for president, which, dear Lord, could be the question. Exactly how much did she need to know that she shouldn't be doing this private email server, and she did it anyway?
Right. Well, I think, as I said, we all sort of guessed that she had signed something along these lines. But I think when the American voter sees the exact terminology here, the exact conditions of her, her handling of this information, and then sees her signature at the bottom of the page there, I think that, it sends a very clear message and, it's very powerful. And I think, when people read the text of the agreement, they can sort of make their own judgments. But it certainly seems like she could have run afoul.
Does this, when you talk about it, what people suggested, I think there is a bit of a disconnect of what might happen within the Beltway bubble and people leading everyday lives in terms of what gets signed and what doesn't get signed, what is thought of and not thought of. This adds to the idea of I don't have to guess. I know what it is that Hillary Clinton did. I understand the levels to which she didn't follow what she signed. I couldn't not follow a contract and still keep my job or still run for president. So the question before the House is this more of an issue to her on the criminal side of this, the FBI investigation side of this, or to the presidential aspiration side?
Well, I'm sure that this is part and parcel of what the FBI is looking at, and they're obviously well aware that this was signed. But I think that her campaign is kind of banking on the average voter sort of, getting all of the information coming out about this. It can end up being pretty confusing, and you get lost wondering, what happened when, and when she signed this or that, and when this email came in, and whether it contained classified markings. So I think that something that's concrete really, cuts through a lot of the rhetoric and a lot of the, quite frankly, confusing, often contradictory information that we've been given, and really makes clear, what the conditions of her employment were and her handling of this sort of information. And I think, it's a really sort of concrete, undeniable evidence that she may have run afoul of these regulations.
It's at Free Beacon, freebeacon.com. Lachlan Markay is his name, Lachlan. You can follow him on Twitter. Lachlan, I appreciate you being here. This just coming out from him, literally published at Free Beacon at 9 o'clock. And I think that he does a very good job of explaining what it is that we're talking about here. How does it affect the investigations? We're going to find out. But how does it affect the court of public opinion? I'll be the one who says it. I think very, very clear. She knew exactly what she was doing and didn't care. And the question is, who will hold her to account? That's got to be the voter. And the progressives who think that she should be their candidate. Calling Joe Biden.